Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fallout Roundtable Spooky Halloween Special. Hold tight to your goodie bags as we take you on a trip into the Fallout universe in an epic Halloween adventure. See if you can figure out the underlining theme beneath Gingerino's presentation. Join us, the conversation has already started.
Okay, so thank you for hanging in there with us. And now we are back to see if we head down to the sewers. So take it away, Mr. GM.
So the key in hand, Charles Brown asked if you guys would help investigate while he goes and takes care of his people. And he, in the process, gave you directions to find the door just over the crest of a small coulee that's nearby that leads to some tunnels which are underneath the town. You now have set before you the opportunity to do as he says, or to just return back to town, be with everybody else. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna check it out.
For sure.
Check it out.
I'm going to the sewers.
So following
I guess majority rules.
Oh, you can stay behind, Enclave.
Protect the beaten body.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't make a fun story.
I mean, it might. You don't know. All right. Everyone going along?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Just checking. Following the directions given to you by Charles Brown, you follow this path that leads behind the crops and down into a coulee. And sure enough, sticking out of the coulee, it looks like this. It's this kind of like horseshoe shape standing up. It's a large door. Like it looks like it would lead to some sort of bunker, but it looks more like for some sort of civic use, like infrastructure purposes. There's a big iron door in front of it, and it's shut.
Like a sewage tunnel?
Kind of like a sewage tunnel. Yeah.
Is there any like lock on it? Like, is it like padlocked, or is it just like?
There's a bar to pull it open, and there is a hole in the front of the door that looks like, typical key kind of thing. If you grab it and you pull on it, it just sort of shakes.
Who has the actual keys now?
Billy does. Billy will pull out the keys and try them on the door.
All right. Difficulty 5. No, so you put the key into the door, and you like turn, and it's like not turning. It's not turning, and you turn, and then it kind of turns all at once. And you give a tug on the door, and it opens and before you is a long, dark tunnel. You can't really see many details on the side. Way off, far away, a small light that you can see.
Does anybody have any kind of light? I'm asking the whole group. In their inventory. Does anybody have any kind of light?
I can make a muzzle flash.
Does the robot have anything on him?
His thrusters might provide a little bit of light, and so you can see things in the immediate area.
I figure I've got some type of
beats anything else.
Actually, 1 second. I need to.
Michael Carson, anything that you could use for light?
No.
I'm looking
I don't
around
think
to
so.
see if there's any kind of rags and sticks or anything I might be able to like ignite off of the thrusters from the handy to create a torch.
You could find some small twigs and pieces of wood lying around. That wouldn't be very hard. Rags. Do you want to actively look for some rags?
Yeah, why not?
Make a, let's say, perception plus survival difficulty 0. I guess, yeah.
So survival 2, perception is 6, so 8. And you said 1 die or 2 die?
2 die is the default, but if you want to purchase more, you can. It's difficulty 0 to look around, though.
I got a 2 and I got a 19. So I got one
success.
One
Yeah,
success. Okay,
that's the
you're
worst.
still at the maximum for your AP, so still at 6 AP for the group. 2. I'm gonna say that you don't find like a rag piece, but you just from debris from the town and everything that's run off through here, maybe looking just a little bit into the tunnel, you can find fabric pieces, As well, you probably have some junk stashed away. You would be able to kind of get together a bunch of fabric scraps that might be sufficient for what you're trying to do.
Okay, so I grab some of those fabric scraps, wrap them around into a stick. I put them in the back of the Mr. Handy guy and light them up on fire. Mind you, I don't have any kind of fuel to keep it going for very long, but I use that for light in the meantime as I enter into the tunnel.
While he's doing this, does anyone else want to do something, or?
I'm gonna follow Jaxie.
Billy's gonna turn to Britt and say, Mrs. Big Lady, have you ever considered that maybe you should just hold the robot upside down? And that way the thruster's up in the air, and then that would be like a little lamp. You're strong.
So, Ranger Opie, would that inhibit your thruster if I were to do something like that?
If you were holding me, I wouldn't need the thruster at all.
But if we were to hold you upside down, would it? Like if we turn you into a candle bot?
There is the potential for catastrophic failure and explosion.
I guess that's not such a great idea then.
Mr. Ranger Opie, I watched a movie when I was a kid about a little talking candlestick, and I think that might be you.
Aww.
I find it flattering that you would find parallels between myself and the little candlestick that could. But I am just a humble ranger of the National Park Services. Now, Ranger Opie, I don't think there's any need for them to have like a light source or anything, because the description for Mr. Handy is like, you've got this advanced like sensory suite.
Mm-hmm.
What I do have is a laser emitter that can be used as both like a laser cutter as well as a laser weapon. So I don't know if there would be any light emission from that. I don't know if there would be some light glow based off of like the propulsion system that I'm using, because I know some things don't really burn. They can burn clear. So however you want to adjudicate a Mr. Handy's propulsion.
I would say that as a Mr. Handy, you would know how to fine tune any settings to perhaps change the thrusters. They push a little harder, maybe be a little brighter. Maybe you could power down the laser emitter so that it's not firing lethal, but it's got a little glow to it.
Anybody have some metal?
I mean, I've got some metal, yeah.
So fun chemistry fact is that flames will burn different colors if you apply some metal to them. Like copper will give you like a nice green glow, and sodium will give you a nice glow. So it's possible if anyone's got some like scrap metal, that could potentially be used in conjunction with the propellant to give like a colored. So it wouldn't be like clear, but at the very least it would be like some type of light emission, maybe.
I just have my machete.
I mean, I'm working on a horse. I've got some pieces for the horse that I guess are metal, but I really don't want to give that up.
Yeah, that'll just burn all your paint off. I think we can see fine. I mean, just out of character there. You play Fallout 4. There's like a nice little glow at the bottom.
Right now, Jaxie's about like halfway down the tunnel, right?
Yeah, she's already gone.
So Jaxie has lit her little torch thing. It's burning fast.
I've got the fertilizer. I think trace amounts of it ignited would give a little bit of flame and stuff.
Stinky flame. But
Yeah,
flame
I'm just gonna
nonetheless.
run in there and say, "Don't steal my giddy up, Buttercup."
With Jaxie walking in there, if Ranger Opie was able to actually get some fertilizer on there, walking through, it's just a long tunnel. You see little bugs along the floor where you're walking along, scurry away as you walk through. You're not noticing anything near you that's moving or bumping in the dark quite yet. But your torch is going through fast, so unless someone does something, or if you just continue on forward, it'll burn out pretty quick. Are the rest of you following, or what do you do?
I was following.
I was just gonna stick
Follow.
with the robot.
I'm gonna look and see if there's any tracks, or I think tracks is probably a good descriptor of like looking for a pathway of like what's been in here recently, what's been going down in here.
Perception plus survival, difficulty 1, as long as you're staying in the light that Jaxie's providing.
I'm in the light of Jaxie. That sounds like something from Rings of Power. Perception plus survival.
Yep, difficulty 1.
I'm gonna use a luck point and see if I can re-roll one of those. I got 0 successes just now.
Great. You guys also have 6 AP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I re-rolled and I got 2 successes because
Nice.
I hit below my survival score.
Okay. Looking at the ground, there's a lot of grime and dust, but you can very clearly see a lot of it's been disturbed. So there has been some foot traffic back and forth. It looks like relatively straight walking. So whatever was coming through here was just going back and forth.
I'm going to continue further in.
I mean, it hasn't been enough to disturb like the entire width. Like it looks like just regular foot traffic. Sorry, that was an additional detail. Jaxie, you said just keep going straight.
Yeah, I'm going to continue in.
Yeah, as long as the tracks continue in, I'm trying to follow the tracks.
Okay. Halfway through, Jaxie, your torch really starts to go out. Further back, Ranger Opie, him floating. The propulsion system is enough to light up the immediate area. You can see within close distance of yourself anyone who's following along with Ranger Opie. Jaxie, by the time you're halfway through, you're almost in darkness because of your torch going out, and Billy, you're with him.
I think I'm the only one who's with Opie.
No, I'm with Opie too.
How far away is Opie from me?
Halfway.
Opie, did you go in shortly after Jaxie, or?
I feel like Jaxie had sort of
Taken
forged
off.
ahead
Yeah.
of us. So, and a lot of us were in this problem-solving mode of figuring out how to make a Ranger Opie a light source without also spontaneously combusting.
A good problem to address for sure.
I'll hold
So-
position here until the robot catches up.
So is in this location, this is like sewer area, right? Or is this just like a corridor or a bunker? Like,
And where you
what's
currently is more of a corridor. It doesn't have a sewery vibe. You don't smell anything. It smells dank in there. But
Okay.
yeah,
Dank memes.
there you go.
Linux has been smoking down here. Got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dunk, dunk. All right.
Stanky
Anyways.
danky.
All right.
With
You-
those Snoop
So
Dogg
you and
dogs.
Jaxie are standing in the center of the corridor, and it is now, you guys are just encased in darkness. And I don't know how your characters react to that, but you are in total darkness as Opie and the rest start making their way towards you with this faint light that he has from his thrusters.
Being that she's she's a Brotherhood of Steel scribe, I just kind of feel like she's just cool with it and just waiting for the robot to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Billy's afraid of being a kid and not afraid of being in the dark.
Fair enough. Eventually, Ranger Opie and the rest meet up with you, and you guys start moving forward. No problems so far. However, as you get closer to the light that's at the end of this corridor, it starts getting bigger and bigger. You notice that it's just emanating from one room that has a narrow entry into it, kind of like the door that got you into this corridor in the first place. As you get closer to this door, and you can see that it's a bright light inside of there, you can hear some heavy breathing from inside whatever room that is.
I would like to pull out my gun and just have it ready as I go in.
I would like to do the same.
Same.
I'm grabbing my baseball bat.
Thought the gun would be a given, but yeah. So I have my gun out, but I want to try to send the Mr. Handy guy or Mr. Ranger Opie to the left side of the door as he enters, and I will try to enter on the right side of the door so that we can get a full sweep. And make sure you look behind the door.
So who's gonna take point on this?
Since
sounds like-
I'm the military guy,
The robot.
the robot will go first.
Wow. Okay. I'll do that. I will use my sensory suite to see if I can try to perceive what might be going on in there, like get a better idea of what we're about to walk into.
So you enter
We
into
don't
the
want
room
to
first,
die.
Well, it like
or just
so we're approaching a door. We can hear like heavy breathing. Is
Mhm.
the door cracked or is it closed?
Sorry, your entryway, not a door. My bad.
All right,
just
so it's like an archway. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
open entryway.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I see or if anything can see me. Basically the sensory suite, like the perception checks. It's like it's the better eyes, and you can like
Mhm.
better sense of smell and just all this other stuff. Like what dangers can I perceive?
From being outside the room, if you would like to make a perception plus survival check, difficulty 2, to ascertain what's inside.
So perception survival.
Mhm.
Now, because I am a Mr. Handy, I reduce the difficulty of perception checks by 1. So this is now a difficulty 1 for me. And because I want this to stick, I'm actually going to use an AP so I can roll 3d20.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going
Oh
to
my
still
God.
shit the bed.
My God.
So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a luck point to re-roll that 20.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, holy cow.
And I will still somehow fail.
Man, when it comes
We
clutch
have
time,
AP, dude.
I spent AP to
You
get
did.
the extra D20.
Yeah, something breathing in there.
That's about it.
Oh, dude.
There's something breathing in there.
I can
Thank you
tell
for that. I
about-
think we all heard.
Hey,
that.
y'all. There's something breathing in here.
I'm leaning fauna over flora.
It is just
Okay.
a constant, like, it's not rushed. It's just like a kind of breath.
Something tells me we found the super mutant.
That's
Yeah,
all I
Bi-
got.
So
Billy's
I'm
just
gonna
gonna
call
go.
out- Oh, sorry. I was
ahead.
going to call
No,
out to. I was going to call out into the room.
Mhm.
Identify yourself.
So you call out to identify. Billy, you said you were going to do something?
Billy's gonna kick the door down, but let's see about
no
this.
door.
There's not a
about this
door.
better
Oh, it's just
solution.
an archway.
entryway.
Just an
There's no
archway.
door.
Billy will kick the metaphorical door down.
Walk right in there while
But
Jackson
I want
just
to
give the
see
Air
what
Sweet
happens
Chin
with
music.
this Jaxie Zero situation here.
Okay, Jaxie is, makes the call to show yourself, and then you just hear, huh? And then
Identify
breathing.
yourself.
Identify.
You start to hear the sound, and a couple more loud thumps heading towards the archway as you are already, and as some of you are expecting, you see Snoop just kind of standing in front of the archway, and he's just standing there. Oh!
I'm going to attempt to have some sort of communication with it.
He's just standing there looking at you, and then turns around, starts walking back into the room.
Is there any like blood or any like foreign matter upon this super mutant?
It would be a difficulty 0 check, but you already have max AP. No, you spent one, so if you want to roll for your perception survival, you can, or you can take the success.
I'll roll for perception survival.
Okay.
Let's roll in here.
If you're looking for, no, that would make sense. Yeah,
Yeah, that's 3 successes. So let's just like
no blood, no signs of blood on him. Actually,
who is he wearing? Like I need all the details.
Well, what
now.
is he wearing?
Who is he wearing?
Who is he wearing?
Who is he wearing?
A
Got
Louis
a-
Me
Vuitton.
too.
Yeah, he's
A,
got a smattering of rats on
Armani
him.
this year.
He's actually just wearing kind of like a bunch of junk for clothing. He's got like loose rags almost for clothes, and on top of that, he's just got like pieces of metal that have somehow been fashioned onto it. Doesn't look like something he made necessarily, but has been put together by the townsfolk. Seems like they've taken to him as his pet, and so he just has some sort of mostly just like generic rags like you would see on most super mutants, but actual care taken to make it look good. But no blood on him, like you were asking. Doesn't seem to be anything like that. No viscera.
You got to remember the wounds. There was no penetration wounds. It
Yeah, I
was
was
all
gonna say
bashing.
the body had no blood per se on it. There was no viscera, so I wouldn't expect to see that on him. Maybe I would expect like a little bit of roughed up knuckles or something, but
Yeah, we need to
Not the other
continue to try
stuff.
to communicate with it.
yeah.
He's walking back into the room a little bit, like kind of where he was before. What do
Yeah,
you guys
I'm
do?
just gonna follow him back into the room.
Billy, you walk into the room, and what you're in is like a cylindrical room. I don't know if cistern's the right word or not, but it's a big circular room. I'd say 25-ish feet across. And you see in the center of this room, once you enter into it, kind of splayed out in a weird pattern, are a variety of bones of animal and possibly humanoid spread out in some sort of pattern. You see a bench along the side that looks like it has tools and implements. Just on the left of the door when you enter into the room. There are 3 other doors. If you think of yourself as walking in the south end, there are 3 other doors on the northwest and east. All of them contain rubble, so they don't appear to go anywhere else. It's just this one entrance in this room. And the ceiling is flat at the edges, but then it kind of bevels upwards towards a cylindrical center at the top. And painted on the ground is some obscure symbols. An odd iconography, and it's the Snoopy just sort of goes back and like plops himself on the gravel pile. He just sits there.
Billy's gonna turn back to the group after looking at all the bones and say, "Hey guys, I think he killed a lot of people. I think he's killed a lot of people.
He's doing something.
Again,
He's-
I'm going to try and talk to it.
Okay, what do you say?
What do I say? What's the Linux, right?
Mhm.
So, hey, your friend Linux has been hurt.
And he just sort of looks up at you.
Linux? Your friend Linux?
Mhm.
Doesn't react, huh?
Not really. He just sort of grunts at you.
So he doesn't really understand.
I'm trying to figure out his
anything?
comprehensive elements because he seems pretty damn stupid, doesn't he?
The rest of you walked in this room, and you all see the same thing that Billy saw. Some like bones laid about the room, some weird iconography, bench with some stuff on it, and Jaxie's talking to Snoopy and not getting much out of him at the point.
Is the robot in the room?
I can be.
For those of you who do,
I could be anything you want me to be.
I'm gonna inquire whether the robot scanned the images on the ground, see if he can discern from his database what they might be.
They might be Native American or something.
Also, I could try to speak with Snoopy as well, because I've got a pretty decent speech considering my job was sort of like a glorified tour guide.
Yeah.
so Ranger Opie, what would anyone like to do? Not just Ranger Opie, but start with you.
If someone was asking me to interpret the symbology on the floor, that would probably be my first step.
Okay. I could get you to make an intelligence, say intelligence and survival would make the most sense. Intelligence plus survival check.
Intelligent survival.
Yeah.
You got a difficulty on that?
I'm going to say difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. I'm going to spend an AP to get 3d20 on this. 3 successes. Thank you, tag skills.
Wow. Okay. It's really difficult to nail down exactly what it is because it's very crudely drawn. But with your 1 or 2 page Wikipedia level of knowledge on almost everything, you classify these symbols as occult based.
These are occultish symbols.
Oh, guys, I'm getting suspicions of the people of the town.
And Ranger Opie, as you were floating around the room, you notice the closer that you are to the center, there's a little spike in radiation right at the center of the room.
Please avoid the center of the room. Radiation detected.
Hold up. Do you think, has anybody been getting a little weird vibe about this town and this festival that we all of a sudden walked into at the perfect time?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to get a sensation that these townsfolk are not being completely upfront with us.
But why would they attack one of their own? Seems to make more sense if they would. Yeah, but it seems like it would make more sense to sacrifice one of us.
It probably was an accident. A bona fide accident.
That was one hell of an accident. Did you see how broken up that body was?
Well, yes, of course, but probably it was an accident.
Yeah, I
I
don't
still
buy
think
that.
the mutant's involved.
I mean, I don't buy it either, but I'm just pointing it out there. It sounds like an accident, unless Linux was not one of them and was lying to us the entire time.
Hmm.
I don't buy that.
Is this super mutant doing anything while we're sitting here contemplating these things?
Just sitting on this rubble pile watching you guys. Doesn't really seem to care. He's just sort of chilling.
I mean, don't you think he's got anything to do with this?
Ranger
Who else
Opie,
is strong enough to do this?
can you keep an eye on the super mutant while the rest of us scan around the rest of the room, see if there's any other entry points or things of interest?
Understood.
All right, guys, go ahead and spread out throughout the room and try to look around for anything that looks out of the ordinary besides the obvious that
dead body
is-
stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if we can find any other kind of clues that we can bring in.
So
All right.
what should
So
we
who
do?
does what?
I spread out.
I'm gonna head towards the far side of the room, kind of directly north of the opening.
I'm closest to the door, just in case I need to make a quick getaway.
Of
Going
course you
around,
are.
going around the room for you guys. It's like there's not.
I mean, I'll still look. It's just I'll be in the rubble pile closest to the door.
Just so you guys are aware, Brokeeper dropped out. His internet stopped working. He said he's working on getting it back on with his laptop.
Okay.
Okay, he'll be back. You guys go around the room and start looking around. And there's not many more details to find around the main entranceway. There's the tools that are on the bench just seem to be like hammers and stuff like that, basic implements, and the pattern's already been identified by Ranger Opie as being kind of an occultist symbol with some sort of remains, either animal or humanoid, there as well. The rubble piles are too thick for you guys to get through, so they don't lead anywhere else. You can't see where exactly the top of the roof goes to. You see that it kind of bells towards like a cylinder and it goes straight up. You can't see up there anything be discernible, like where it goes. And other than the radiation spike in the bottom, there's not much else to go on. But Ranger Opie, while you're watching Snoops, the super mutant, as he's sitting on the rubble, you detecting a different, I don't know how the hell else to describe this. Something changes in the way he's holding himself up. And his, I don't know what kind of sensors you would have, but something about his biology seems a little off compared to how it was when you first saw him here.
Could be potentially body language or noises, changes in breathing, pulse. Could be any number of things, but I would like to think that Ranger Opie is keyed into sort of the natural stuff. So, yeah, I noticed that, and it's like Miss Zero.
Roger.
You had asked me to keep track if anything changed in here.
Yeah.
That has indeed happened.
Okay, report.
Snoopy has had a change in behavior.
Psychological, or do you think it's physiological?
Unable to determine.
Attempt to engage in conversation. I'll observe.
I'll attempt to do that.
Snoops is just sitting in front of you. His head is actually lowered now. He's not looking up at you anymore.
Okay. I'll try to address him to see if I can get him to like engage in conversation or
Hello,
or
sir,
look
or
up to me.
madam.
Can I interest you in a bag of sweets?
Do you like mute fruit? Yeah.
Do I ever? No, not really.
Yeah.
What does Ranger Opie say to Snoopy?
Snoopy, are you okay?
He doesn't seem to respond.
So the perk that Ranger Opie took was Animal Friend. I know
Oh.
that this is not an animal, but at the same time, I think Ranger Opie might know how to endear themselves to creatures so that they don't get attacked. Maybe read their body language or anything. Is there any type of check I could make to like better ascertain what the situation is with Snoopy?
Let's see. Intelligence plus survival or medicine, your choice.
I'm probably gonna go survival in this. Intelligent
Okay.
survival. What's the difficulty I'm looking at?
Difficulty 2. Animal friend perk gives you what again?
So that's only if I'm attacked by an animal. I'm just kind of flavoring this.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm trying to rationalize how I could be able to make this roll. I'm just going to stick with the 2d20
Okay.
right now in case this comes to blows. That's 2 successes. So.
Okay. Well, you engage in conversation with Snoopy, and he doesn't really respond. It doesn't really respond. But at the end of your questioning, his body sort of lurches forward a little bit, almost like you would when you're vomiting. He's not vomiting though, but he kind of like does that like hunching,
Gotcha.
and his body starts twitching and moving a little bit.
Like some
Head.
involuntary jerks.
Yeah.
Anybody not armed, go ahead and get armed.
Do you think he's been poisoned? Maybe he seems oddly symptomatic.
Maybe not poisoned, but drugged, I think. Something tells me we might want to get ready to be in a fight.
As you're discussing this, the twitching is getting a little bit more violent. And you can see now
Slowly
As
start
this-
backing your way to the exits, guys, and get your weapons at the ready.
his head tilts to the side, and you can see just a dead stare in his eyes. There's no response in them at all. And his body actually starts to lift up a little bit off of the ground to the point where he's on his feet, and then his feet start going on his tippy toes, and he's actually
Levitating?
up in the air a little bit. Arm
Wow.
pulled in like this, another arm outstretched, mouth open, just agape, and a dead stare in his eyes, and he's floating like a half foot off the ground in front of you. How are you guys responding to this situation?
I'm slowly backing away with my weapon drawn, suggesting to the others they do the same. Heading towards the
I'm
exit
there.
we came in.
Yeah.
This right here may, of course, be the first instance of a flying super mutant. This is an excellent opportunity for us to be able to watch and learn as this majestic creature is now unbound by ground and has learned to take flight.
I'm going to let the robot do whatever kind of experiment bullshit it wants to as I continue back.
I'm gonna
towards
get
the door.
published.
Billy, Ranger Opie is monologuing here. What are you doing?
Billy is gonna ready himself pretty much like a shooting stance and say, "Oh yeah, I think this is finally when he's gonna do the duel with me, right? This is when it
Yeah.
happens."
Exactly.
Excellent.
We're gonna duel.
And I'm going to continue backing up very quietly and very slowly and watching all this happen.
I'm in
I am
bat
following.
stance.
Captain John Michael Carson, what are you doing?
I'm following
Who are you
Um,
following?
Jaxie out the door.
Okay, that would be relevant.
Hey, you're backing up the door, Jaxie?
Yeah, I'm backing
Yeah.
out the door.
Those two are
Slowly-
leaving. We're ready to fight. Me and the kid.
I'm keeping myself a way out and preparing to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Ranger Opie, I'm assuming you're monologuing in the room with them.
Oh yeah, like I mean, why wouldn't I?
So those of you who are backing out slowly, those of you staying in the room, the twitching and convulsions are starting to get more and more violent. And then suddenly Snoopy is thrust face first into the ground with a loud smash. And you can see coming out of the rubble and into the back of Snoopy are 3 large protruding vines. And they're just smushing him into the ground more and more. And the rubble starts to, I almost broke my desk. The rubble starts to loosen and fall apart. And from the rubble of this east side door emerges one vine at a time, a large floral vegetative creature with little mute fruits all over it.
The supreme mute fruit.
I don't know.
Hyper kudzu.
I was gonna say, sounds like just normal kudzu around here.
Am I still generally close to Opie?
If you were at the main entrance, Opie, where would you be? Trying to situate yourself.
You're over by the super mutant, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't think Opie would have moved.
you're about
far.
halfway
Opie tried
into the
to
building.
engage conversation with
You're-
Snoopy.
Pretty much right in front of this thing.
Yeah.
That's right before you.
Yeah, and I think Ranger Opie's like Hyper kudzu is an extremely invasive species of vine in the United States and must be dealt with
Can it
prejudice.
still hear me
Fire.
talk?
A Saul is spinning up, lasers beginning to warm up.
Is,
Hyper
is,
kudzu must go.
is
Okay.
Opie still close enough where it could hear me?
Oh yeah, I've got a good sensory array. I'm sure I could hear you.
So if I was to holler scan for weaknesses, maybe you could possibly do that? I don't know if that's something you can do.
Possibly like
Weaknesses in the vine or weaknesses
Weaknesses in
Snoopy?
well, no, screw Snoopy. Snoopy's fodder. I'm worried about
Snoopy
the
dead.
I'm
No
worrying
more
about
Snoopy,
the
okay.
well, Snoopy's not dead yet per se.
right.
He's got some vines hanging out of him right now. It might
Right.
survive this, but I'm more concerned with the thing that created the vines. It's got it sticking into the back, whether or not it's got a weakness within its inner shell that we can focus our fire on to actually put enough damage onto it to take it down. I'm getting ready to kill this thing.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's a check that you would like me to try to make for.
Are you trying to observe this thing for weaknesses? Is what?
Yeah, like,
Yes.
is there anything that's like particularly?
Does it have a glowing freaking
unprotected?
heart that's pumping on the outside of its skin or something, or an exoskeleton? Something says here, shoot here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Sir.
kudzu.
Okay.
Gotta pull it up by the root. Mhm.
Well,
Put it
with
on
this
fire.
in mind, I'm going to consider this the start of combat, and Ranger Opie is going to have the first turn in the round.
Opie has fire, doesn't he?
Cool. Opie's got a laser and a buzzsaw.
I
And
know
a
your
little grabber. for-
initial intent is to
And a little
scan the
grabber.
creature, but your Opie you can do as what you think Opie would do. But yes, we're going to enter into initiative for combat with this, and you're going to get the first round for
Yeah.
first turn.
I'm thinking if this is a plant, then really the best thing I have is to either cut it at the root or to set it on fire. And it does seem hostile, so I'm probably going to go with a ranged attack. What's the defense on this thing?
The defense on this is 2.
2. Cool. So I'm at close range, so my weapon is in the correct range band. Fun fact, since combat is considered a perception check for me, I reduced the difficulty by 1 because I'm a robot.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's big dumb. And I'm not gonna I've used a lot of AP, so I'm not gonna worry about using AP at the moment here. That's 2 successes, so I generated an AP, and that should be a hit. I'm gonna roll damage now. I am going to use 2 additional ammo to because I've got a fire rate of 2, so that does give me additional damage dice. So that is 4 energy damage, and 2 of it pierces through armor.
Okay. 4 energy dam, 2 of which pierces through armor. Sorry,
Well, like I reduced the energy DR by 2, so sorry.
no, that's okay. I'm just bringing up all of your guys' sheets. Okay.
What does
Oh.
TH stand for?
Where?
On the weapons tag right next to skills. So it says energy
target
weapon
number.
8.
Target number?
Okay.
Oh, so are you
TN.
looking at TN is target number?
TN.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
TH.
My eyes aren't that great. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, I see what you're talking about in the column that. Yeah, TN. That's the number you're aiming to roll under.
Okay.
Okay, so you said how much energy damage?
So it would have been 4 with 2 piercing.
4 energy damage, 2 piercing. And which weapon is this?
This would be my laser emitter, so it acts as a laser gun.
Okay. You fire off the laser at this thing of vines and mute fruits sticking out of it. And it lets out like a screeching, hissing noise. And it appears to not like that very much. But it has not doesn't seem to be making it recoil at all. With that said, the initiative order starts us off with Billy, the adult cowboy.
All right. Billy says, I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted dead or alive. And he's gonna burn an AP to shoot the 44 pistol at the super mutant. Billy manages 3 successes, so that is a hit, but he does have a complication in there. You can GM. What's my complication? I'm gonna go ahead and roll my damage dice here as well.
Let me know what your damage is.
Yeah. I'm going to.
Hey, did you use a minor action to aim?
No.
You didn't?
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We're going to have a quick break and we'll be right back. Ever wanted to be a content creator but had no clue where to begin? Come join me as I sit down with content creators that have already faced the challenges you're up against, as they discuss the tips and tricks that help them be successful. Here on The Content Creator's Guide, available wherever podcasts can be found. Welcome back, everyone. Here we go. Somebody's being put on. He's like putting the whole he's like, all those times you got me when we were GMing.
So Lonnie's primary weapon is inaccurate, so I can't use a minor action to aim. But if you use a minor action to aim, you can re-roll one of your D20s.
Well, sure. I can use a minor action to aim, and I'll re-roll this D20. Since we're talking about it here, since we're already here, give me a second.
I just want to be a good steward of the game and the rules.
I'm okay with him not failing.
Well, it wasn't a fail.
He would success at.
And now
he would succeed at a cost, basically.
I've got 4 successes now for that. So I'm going to go ahead and roll damage on that. Now I'm going to do something a little wacky here. I'm going to roll. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't even know about that. Actually,
wow.
I am.
Wow.
Give me 1 second and I'm going to tell you what exactly I'm going to do here. I am going to.
That's already 11 damage. What more do you want to do?
That's fine. I think 11 damage is fine. Billy, you know what? With that intro of "I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride," and doing 11 damage with this pistol, I think that's a pretty high mark for him. So I think I can end my turn there.
This thing doesn't know music, but for some reason, it knows that poetry, and it's just. It turns to you like, oh wow, it's amazing.
Dude, if Opie didn't just blink just now, I would have thought he froze.
Everybody sees it. Everybody is like, wow.
Now we're starting to think maybe Billy, the adult cowboy, has killed 50 people.
It seems like it at this point. So you shoot off. Let's see, complication as well. Okay, you shoot your gun and you actually shoot.
I re-rolled that.
Yeah, he killed the complication.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay,
no
the complication's done. Then. Okay, you shoot your gun. You hit one of the larger vines, and in the process of it recoiling, it actually tears off that one vine, and so now it's completely recoiling back towards the rubble, and it's hissing and screaming. What are some sort of equivalent of screaming? It's just this loud pitched squealing noise. The vine you shot off flies to the other room, wriggles a little bit, and then slowly goes down and dies. The rest of the vines are just sort of flailing all over the place. And that's your turn. All right. And,
I think it's a pretty good turn.
That's a great turn, actually.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The next would be Sir Reginald Davidson, but he hasn't come back yet. So I'm gonna hold off. I'll let him if he comes back in, I'll let him take his turn when he gets here. But we're gonna go to Ranger Opie next on the initiative order.
Cool. I will my minor oh my gosh, my minor action. I'll aim. I'm only looking at a difficulty 1 right now. I won't use any AP for this. That is a success. That is sufficient. I'm going to rapid fire this to try to maximize my damage. Oh my god, I'm going to spend a
Wow.
luck point to reroll 3 of those.
Yep.
So
That's one of the worst damage rolls I think I've seen.
out of me or just period?
Out in period and out of you.
Hey, okay, so that's a bit better. That's going to be 4 energy damage with 3 piercing.
Okay, and that was with the laser again.
Laser, yeah. Is
Excellent.
all that seemed to be going through, or?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm recording it on paper. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So back to back, we have pew bang pew from Ranger Opie and Billy, the adult cowboy, and that was the worst sound effects ever. I apologize. And bing bing, does a little more damage this time. The first time you hit it, it clearly burned it a little bit, and this time, however, the flailing kind of stops in some of the vines, and they look like they're sort of just floating in place, ready to do something, and more hissing and screaming come out, and this thing starts to curl up a little bit in towards the rubble, making itself smaller at its main core. John Michael Carson, you're up next.
I'm up next. Hold on,
What would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to shoot it.
Okay, so the difficulty is 2. You are shooting with your plasma gun. So you need to make a perception plus energy weapons test, difficulty 2. So roll 2d20. Or if you want to buy extra dice with AP, you can.
How much AP do we have left?
I think you guys.
4?
4 AP, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I had.
I got a
before.
13 and a 10.
Okay, a 13 and a 10. What's your target number? That would be perception plus energy.
Let me pull up the sheet.
Your perception is 6, your energy weapons is 0, so your target number is 6.
Nope, I don't get it.
Okay, you fire off a shot and it goes right between some of the vines. This thing is flailing about. It's hard to hit any one of the vines, and it just strikes the wall behind it. You still have a minor action you can take, which would include things like drawing item, interacting, moving, or taking a chem if you have one on you.
No, not today.
Okay.
Not right now.
Jaxie, you're up
Roger.
next.
Okay, I am going to try to focus my fire on the tentacles because it seems to be the only thing that's actually given it any real damage. Man, I wish there was something centralized that isn't moving that I could hit. But if the tentacles are all we got, I'm going to have to go for... I'm going to try to focus on the largest of the tentacles that I can.
Okay.
And that's perception versus what?
What are you firing with?
I'm using a laser pistol.
Okay,
The
that's gonna
perception energy weapons.
So perception, energy, weapons. My energy weapons is a 2. Perception is a 6, so 8. And that's a 2 die 20.
Mhm,
Yeah. And
unless
I'd
you wanna-
recommend with your minor action, you can use that to aim. It'll allow you to reroll d20 if you don't get a good roll.
You said minor action if I do not.
If you
Well,
don't
yeah,
plan
the
on-
minor action is to like steady yourself and aim,
Yeah.
and then your major action is to shoot.
Yeah. So in combat, you get a minor and major action. Like you said, minor action you can use to aim. You could also use it to move. So if you're planning on moving, we wouldn't want to do that. But aiming would let you increase.
What's
your
my
chances of
what's my
success.
distance from the object?
Everything in this room is considered close, unless you're on the exact opposite side. Then no, it would still all be close because it's 25.
Yeah, same room.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. Minor action is to aim.
And if it's A or lower, it's success. And with an aim, you can re-roll one. If you want to.
I got a 3 and a 2.
3 and a 2. That's awesome.
So is energy weapons attack skill for you?
I have so for me, I have energy weapons is a skill for me.
But it's not a tag skill, unfortunately. It doesn't
Oh,
have to
tag
be.
skill. No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not
Alright.
marked as a tag skill.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
so you
But I have piercing 1 as one of the effects on it on my laser pistol.
you
Awesome.
will roll your damage dice now.
And that would be a single 6-sided.
So that would be 4 of them.
4
So
of
where it
them.
says damage,
Okay.
it says 4, and then the Fallout Boy head.
Okay, yeah, I see that. The damage where it says 4. Okay, I thought that was the amount of damage. Okay, I get it now. So 2, 6, 7.
So tell me what the 4 numbers are. I'm gonna
7 plus 6, so
no, don't
13.
add them up. Tell me what the individual ones are.
2, 4, 6, and darn it, I forgot what did I come up with? 13, right?
You have a
So
2, a 4, and a 6, and then one more die.
yeah, the one more die would have added up to 13. So
Okay.
So
6,
1.
7, 8, 9, 10.
So 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have done 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, one of which is a piercing, which ignores 1 thing of armor. Okay. Awesome. For those listening, if you're keeping track of combat dice, 1 and 2 is 1 and 2 damage, respectively. 3 and 4 does no damage. 5 and 6 both do 1 damage, but it also has the effect trigger. So in this case, it was that piercing 1 you were talking about. Okay. 4 damage and -1 for the DR. Okay. You fire off a shart. Dear Lord. I'm tired.
Oh wow.
Oh,
You fire off a shart. that
Boy,
does
those
4 damage.
potatoes.
Man, yeah, that's good old Tato damage right there. Jeez Louise. I'm sorry about that.
Did you have to in this small
I
room?
do. Everyone
I'll
looks
add
around
that-
to see who it is.
I'll add that to the fertilizer bag and
But I'm a lady.
So
Oh,
with the
Lord.
4 damage, you hit the central. So you aimed kind of where like most of the vines are together. Like there's not a core one, but you saw a lot of them in this one spot. You aim and fire, and all the tentacles at once kind of go up and down, and then they start banging against the ground as a result. And so the tips of these vines are now raising and smashing into the bricks below on the ground here.
What are the effects to the super mutant? Did any of them pull loose from the super mutant or not?
There are 3 still wedged into the super mutant.
I thought there was 3 total to begin with.
No, so 3 wedged in the super mutant, and there are a myriad, as far as you can tell right now, of arms that are flailing. But now they're not flailing; they're smashing into the ground.
There's got to be some reason for that.
Next up is the Supreme Mute Fruit, who is going to try to hit the thing that is right in front of it, and that is Ranger OP. And it is going to.
look,
you will.
Dave, I get GM aggro in this game too.
I'm
All right.
telling you, if you go by logic, it's whatever is closest to you and is being the most nuisance, and you seem to be a nuisance.
I am a nuisance.
So I will roll Strength of Armed test. Shoot, I need more than that. Oh my god. Okay, so I got a 3, which is 1 success. And I got a nat 20, which is not a great success.
He has a
Okay.
complication.
My defense
boy.
is 1, so I
Mhm.
mean you do hit.
Okay, good to know. Okay, I know what the hell this will work. Okay, and we're gonna do 2 of these. That's nothing. Okay, you take 1 damage, no triggered effects. And the complication on my side is that he hits you by kind of like underhanding you, and he smacks you in the thruster where a lot of the heat is.
Ooh.
As a result,
Ooh.
takes damage on his. Not only he doesn't take damage yet, but a small flame starts on one of the like leaves that are on that vine,
Man, got whipped in the thruster.
right in the thruster.
I'm assuming that's physical damage.
Yes, that
Yeah.
would be
So
physical damage.
the 1 damage isn't quite enough to ding this Mr. Handy stock
Nice.
armor, so I'm still rather protected. But
Awesome. I mean, you did get kicked in the thruster, but yeah.
whipped, just this little, just a little snap right
Little
there.
push.
This is turn 1. You notice a small twitch in the super mutant on the ground. And now, Brittany, it's your turn.
Okay. So I have a machete, and I think I'm going to try and chop something up over here.
Just don't chop me up.
Okay. So you want to make an attack?
I thought you were on my side. Yes.
Okay. So this is going to be a strength plus melee weapons target test. So roll 2d20, or if you're buying any other d20s, go for it.
We still have AP in the pool, right?
Yes.
Sure, why not? I'll buy one.
Difficulty 2.
I have. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, I have the wrong die. I have to do another one. Okay. I have to hit an 11, so I only have one success.
Okay.
Now, if
Yeah.
you want to,
Wait a
you can
second. I
use-
have tag skills. What does that mean?
So tag skills are. What was the value of your success?
It's a 2.
Oh,
A
okay.
2.
That's-
So
That's a tag skill for her. too.
what's you were using melee weapon?
Yeah.
What is that's tagged?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so you've got a minimum of 2 ranks in that. So you'll actually, if you roll your rank or lower in a tag skill, it counts as 2 successes.
Okay.
There you go. So you have 2 successes.
So
which
2
means
successes.
You do hit it. So roll damage for your machete, which is 3. 3 d6 dice.
Yeah, 3 of the D6, right.
And tell me what each individual number is.
Okay. 3 Vault Boy heads.
3 Vault Boy heads. So that's going to be
Now,
3 damage.
is she getting the melee bonus damage because of
Oh,
her
yeah.
high strength?
High strength, which is plus.
Oh, yeah.
She's at 9. What was that one again? A plus 1 or 2?
I think it's plus 2
Yeah.
because I do have that on my sheet at the top. Melee damage plus 2.
Okay. Plus melee
So roll 2 additional d6.
Okay. And then it's also piercing 1.
Mhm.
That was 1 shotgun, 2 shotgun.
So that's 6 damage with 3 piercing.
Okay, 6 damage, 3 piercing, all physical. Perfect. With your machete, you lean back with your 7-foot tall might and just wail on one of the vines in front of you, and you slice through it very easily. And so there's another dead piece of vine on the ground before you. This thing is still smashing on the ground, but it's starting to slow down. You're all noticing that. Any minor action that you want to take?
No.
Back to the top of the order with Billy the Adult Cowboy.
Yeah, Billy is going to take aim as his minor action, and then he's gonna say, "This town is big enough for the. I mean, it ain't. I mean, this town is big enough." And he's gonna fire his weapon after he's aimed. So I'm actually gonna roll. I'm gonna burn an AP to roll 3 dice. That's 4 successes. Right off the bat there.
That gives you another 2 AP. Push
Yep.
up to 5, I think. No, you had more.
Ball 1 earned 2.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a pretty good deal. I'm gonna roll my dice.
I almost feel like
Uh,
I should have picked a male character. I would
Mhm.
have been better at acting at it.
I'm going to I'm gonna spend a luck point and re-roll 3 of those damage dice here that are blank. Yeah, so that gives me let's see, 6 damage. What's it?
8.
Yeah,
Because you're
8.
vicious.
This is vicious. Yeah, 8 damage.
Okay. That's 8.
Oh.
And what kind of damage is that again? Oh, it's piercing. Yep. Okay.
Nope, it's just 8 damage.
Oh, it's just 8 straight damage. Okay.
Yep.
Get rid of that piercing then. All right. So you fire up another shot into this myriad of vines. And in this last shot, it pierces through a vine. It doesn't quite rip it off completely. But in one last thrust, this myriad of vines spreads out everywhere, and the vines now pierce the stone brick of this room that you're in. And you can now see the vines kind of tightening and moving and like almost like humming, kind of getting bigger and smaller, like they're stretching. Would you like to do anything else with your turn? No, you did minor action with your
I've
aim,
done
right?
my turn.
All right, you're done your turn. Reggie,
I'm
still
just
not here.
warming. I'm just starting to warm up to all this. I'm like, ooh, I'm starting to get into this.
Yeah.
The combat started, so now I'm into it.
So hey, Reggie's still there, but you know, Romer's been disconnected. So say he's got shell shock right now.
Yeah.
He's just hiding
No,
somewhere.
it's post-traumatic stress disorder.
There you go. Ranger Opie, is your turn next. Before you is these vines emanating from this rubble, and there's at least a dozen of them. They're all embedded in some way, shape, or form into the surrounding room.
All right, I'm gonna burn hella resources here. I'm gonna take my first shot with no juice on it. I get 2 successes, so I'll earn an AP. I'm going to use some additional ammo to crank up the fire rate. That will be 5 energy damage with 2 piercing.
5-2. Okay. It's 5E, 2P. Okay.
And then I'm going to spend 2 AP to take another major action. I'll use a minor action to aim. So I'm actually looking at increasing the difficulty because I'm taking an additional shot. So difficulty is 2. But I'm aiming, so it'll let me reroll a die. And we'll see what happens. 2 successes. Awesome.
That is clutch. Wow. That's-
So we're gonna rapid fire these bad boys again,
Oh.
Britt's like, I want to turn.
and that'll be
Pew, pew,
5
pew,
damage
pew.
with 2 piercing as well. So
Pew, pew, pierce, pierce,
So,
pew, pew.
yeah, 5 damage with 2 pierce, followed by 5 damage with 2 pierce.
Okay. Followed by another 5, 2 pierce. Okay. You just unload onto this massive vines where they are at their base, and easily slice through a couple, and they just sort of dangle from the ceiling. One lays on the floor. You can see that they're like getting noticeably weaker, like very weak here. And they still look like they're stretching and pulling where they're at, but it doesn't look like they have a lot of strength left in them there. John Michael Carson, you're up next.
So I will take aim as my minor.
Okay.
If I have that.
Yep. So that'll allow you to roll a d20 if you want to re-roll one. Okay. And you're going to use your plasma gun?
Yes.
Okay. So that's perception plus energy weapons for your target number.
It's 6, I think, if I remember.
Your target number will be, I believe it's 6.
My perception 6.
You have 5 AP, so you could buy another dice, or 2 if you wanted, but it's up to you.
No, I'm not going to. I'll leave it for the better fighters here. An 18. Wow. Another 18.
Okay. 2 fails. Unfortunately, you fire, but it goes again through some of the vines, not hitting one of them.
Did you
Oh,
reroll?
wait, you can reroll one because you did.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And I got a 1.
You got a 1.
That's
You got a
great.
1?
There
That's
you
a
go.
crit hit. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a nat 1.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, you're gonna hit it. So roll your damage, which is 6d6. How many 6-sided die do you have with you?
Oh, I'm using online. I have as many as I want.
Okay. Roll 66 damage. Let me know each individual number and I'll
3, 4, 3, 6, 2, 2.
3, 4, 3, 6, 2, 2. All right, so 6.
You're missing a
So
number.
that's 5.
5 damage and
5
1.
with an effect right now.
But he did get a critical hit.
Got a crit.
I guess he's got a couple critical hits here. That has happened.
Damn.
today. Oh, I'm trying to get back to your sheet.
And I'm pretty sure we've been critting.
Yeah,
with the
you've done.
damage.
There's been a lot here. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4 crits with him so far. So which should be divining him as you go. All right.
Like vines dropping as I'm shooting. It's just like one of those scenes where it's like one of those slow-mo scenes. It's like pew.
No damage effect for the plasma gun, so that's 5 energy damage. Now,
yeah.
With that shot, you hit kind of the base of where the vines are, and you hear a loud hissing, like enough that everyone here, except for Ranger Opie, has to like cover their ears for half a second, and the vines tense up as much as it seems like they can, and then they start to go loose, and the vines just sort of hang there drooping. And
I feel like I just clutched this.
Like it is no longer moving. However, where the bricks are that the vines have gone into, one falls out, and then another one falls out, and then another one falls out. And that is the situation you currently find yourself in. This room seems to be kind of falling apart slowly, mind you, and the creature itself doesn't seem to be moving.
So did I just clutch this?
Maybe.
I hope so. Because that'd be
It caused a
awesome.
cave in.
Well, that's just my style, though. To create more.
Good thing I'm backed up right by the door.
I mean, I'm like right next to the door too, right now.
Yeah, you followed me.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't care about you fools. I want to save myself.
Next up is Jaxie on the list. Jaxie, what are you wanting to do? Oh, and last detail, the bricks are coming down, the vines are not moving, and a few more twitches and convulsions comes from Snoopy on the ground.
I want to focus my energy on trying to hit the vines that are stuck inside of Snoopy.
Okay.
Because if I can get Snoopy loose, maybe he can help get us out of here.
Make an attack against the vines on Snoopy.
So is that perception versus
Energy. Perception
Energy
plus
skill?
energy weapons because you're using a laser pistol.
right? 7 and an 8. Let me see what I
Those
got.
are both on and under your target number, so that's 2 successes.
Okay, cool. I had to go back to my screen. I didn't
That's
know.
good.
Oh,
All
right,
4
so
combat dice.
4 combat dice. So hold on. I got 3. I got a 2, a 5, a 3,
3, 2, 5,
and a
3.
4.
Oh, 3, 2, 5, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's 2 plus 1 and a trigger effect. So that is 3 damage with a piercing. Okay. Any minor action you want to take?
I don't know if I have the option. Do I don't know what those.
I mean, you can move or you can interact or
I can probably get right underneath the doorway. That way I'm either in or out.
okay. Shooting the vines at the base of Snoopy. They recoil upwards and Snoopy's body does so as well. And they fall back on the rubble and everything stops moving. But then the ceiling starts to collapse above you guys. We're now out of initiative order. You guys have successfully killed my vine monster.
Yeah.
There we go.
Deuces fine monster.
There we go. Sorry, Britt. However, you have another problem, which is that the roof above you is starting to like come down on top of you. What is everyone going to do?
I'm running. I don't care about you all.
How tall is this ceiling? Can Brit like
It's
hold it up?
It's about 10, 15, 10, sorry, so you're 12 feet high.
Oh, okay. It'd be
Taller than you.
Is there
Yeah.
sunlight coming in from where the bricks are falling?
It's hard to tell because this room is
I thought we were underground.
This room is lit, oddly enough, with electric lights. That I don't know why I just realized that detail is ridiculous, but there you go.
All right, so I'm gonna run towards the door. I'm gonna escape.
Okay. You're
Escape.
you're running for it. And Britt, are you going to try to stay back and hold something up?
Well, I was going to, but I don't know if I can. But I mean, she's strong, so she ought to be able to. I just wanted to ensure that everybody got out before it completely caves in.
Okay.
Maybe try and grab the super mutant and yank his ass loose of the
Yeah.
next
Is he
line.
still alive?
Ranger Opie is going to grab Snoopy by the belt
Okay, so I'll
and
help.
try
with
to pull him out because that is what Ranger Opie would be programmed to do.
Yeah, so I'll help because I should be able to carry that thing out.
Okay. So you guys are going to attempt with that. Billy, you're running for it.
I think those three are out the door.
Okay.
Yep.
Jaxie and Captain Michael Carson.
Yeah. Yeah, we're long gone right now.
You guys are heading out.
Yeah, we're long gone.
Okay.
I am at the doorway still. I haven't made a movement yet.
Okay.
So
Then I'm long gone.
how is the super mutant situation right now? If anybody has grabbed that, I may try to take another shot at the tentacle that's still attached to the super mutant because there's still one attached, right?
Is there?
There would be still at least one attached. The last you saw was that it recoiled forward and then it landed on its back.
I mean, if it's not putting up a fight, I've still got a buzz-saw on another arm.
I'm gonna say I can machete it off, but
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what's the quickest way to possibly have this happen and still get out of here alive.
mhm.
So if I pop off one more shot and then keep heading towards the door, I'm at the door, so I'm in the doorway.
Are you staying at the door? Are you going to walk up to it, or how are you going to do this shot?
Well, honestly, I think just hacking it and taking off with the super mutant is probably best.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and just continue out the door then.
That's fine. All right.
Bye
so-
bye, guys.
All right, so you three start heading out the door, and the other two of you stay back to see if you can pull out vines from Snoopy and pull him out. Okay. Ranger Opie and Britt, it is a attack roll, but is a difficulty 0. Go ahead and roll to see if you can bank any AP.
What's the Vault Tech symbol one? What is that?
That's a damage effects.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
get any successes.
That's okay.
I mean, unless the Vault Tech thing stands for anything. Let me see.
Well, yeah, like the
Isn't that a
Vault
one?
Boy head, it does. So, like for a machete, that means you get a piercing effect. It means it bypasses damage resistance.
Well, it's on my number die, so I don't know what number it's supposed to be.
Your numbered die?
Yeah, it's on my numbered die. I'll use a different one. I don't
It
know.
might be a 1 instead of a 20.
That's what I was wondering because I rolled a
Mhm.
20 on my other die, so I have that and
Oh.
a 20. Well,
No,
there is
are
a
you-
1 on here though.
So that's a crit.
I'll take it, crit.
So you got
Okay.
2 successes.
Perfect.
Perfecto.
Okay. 2 successes. You're able to chop through the vines with Opie's help. You're able to successfully detach Snoopy from the vines. Those of you running out the door, if you could make, depending on how you choose to run, either a agility survival or an endurance plus athletics test.
Hold on.
Difficulty 0.
Agility survival.
Agility and survival or endurance and athletics. Your
Okay.
choice. Let me know how many successes you get. It's difficulty 0.
Okay.
I got 1 success. Agility survival.
1 success.
One
Well,
success.
one
And what was
crit, I
the
guess.
endurance?
Hold on, let me roll.
My agility endurance is
Is this a
7.
D20?
Or sorry, agility survival is 7. But I
It's a
got a
D20,
crit.
right?
Okay. Oh, you haven't run out the door yet, though, have you, Britt? You and OP.
I
have,
haven't. Oh, it's just
No,
them.
we're
So I got a 1 and a
Pretty
6,
safe.
and I'm going with the agility survival, which I don't. Oh, is it agility survival? Is that
Mhm.
what it was?
Your choice.
I did agility survival and I got a nat 20.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
What was
boy.
what was the athletics one?
It was endurance plus athletics.
Endurance.
I thought it was your
athletics.
choice, athletics or survival.
Yep.
That's what happened with me in my nat 20.
It was your choice. I forgot what I had. Hold on. Is it a 6 and a 1? Or 6? Yeah.
Okay. How many successes you got?
was 2 successes. One's a crit, and I went
Um,
for the endurance thing.
Yep, I got a nat 20.
So you trip and fall on your running out.
Figures.
Figures.
Billy, how many successes did you say you had?
Oh, I had one success. Sorry,
one.
I started disassociating from Billy.
That's okay. I got you. All right. So you guys are running out. Jaxie, you're running through, and Carson Michael has fallen down while running in front of you. You're catching up to him right about this time. Billy, you're far ahead of everybody. You're getting close to halfway through this corridor on their way out. Britt and Opie, you guys have freed Snoopy, but the wall, the ceiling and all that's still kind of starting to crumble down, and things are really starting to break apart. What are you guys going to do?
I'm
We
attempting
gotta-
to drag Snoopy
Yeah.
towards the exit.
Grab him and get out.
Okay. It's going to be a strength plus athletics check for you guys. We're going to sit with him. This is going to be difficulty 2. We're going to go with Britt. You're going to do the test, and then Opie is assisting with 1d20 extra.
Yep. You can take that top one. It was a fail.
So mine's a tag
actually-
skill.
Actually, no, I don't think I can if I'm assisting. Disregard.
I don't remember why I made athletics a tag skill, but I did.
Well, that's beneficial for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me that's 11. So I have 2 successes.
I'm
Okay.
going to spend that luck point to re-roll
Okay.
my that was strength athletics. There's your 3rd success.
Perfect. An extra success there. All right. You guys successfully start actually moving him towards the door. You are just bracing gracing the threshold of this archway as the room starts to collapse behind you. And it's right behind you. Guys are running out. What are you doing? Are you continuing running? Billy, you're way ahead of everybody. John Michael Carson, you're on
I'm
the
turning back towards
I face
those guys.
planted. What do you think I did?
I'm actually turning back towards the other guys to try to help them get the super mutant out of there.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good.
I
Carson.
face planted.
Yeah. So what do you
Mhm.
do from here?
I want to continue running. Ow.
Okay. So, and Billy, yourself?
Billy is going because Billy's mission accomplished. Let's put up the big banner on the aircraft carrier. Going.
Like, I'm out. Peace out, y'all. All right.
Yeah.
Billy, same check as before, which I believe was either agility plus survival or endurance plus athletics. Difficulty 0. John
Yeah.
Michael Carson, same for you. Difficulty 1.
2 successes from Mr. Billy the Adult Cowboy.
Perfect. John Michael Carson, you make your check. Let me know how many successes you get. Jaxie, I had to remember your name. Sorry. Jaxie, you turn back to go and assist them. I'm gonna wait until I
Roll the
check in
3.
with them again.
It's the integrity of being a Brotherhood of Steel member. You can't just leave people behind.
Fair enough. Rolling a 3. And what's
Yeah.
the other roll?
Say what?
What's the other roll there?
17.
17. That'll be a fail for your sheet. Okay. Awesome.
Great. I'm gonna die.
Okay. So Billy, you are nearing the exit. You're almost out of this corridor. Captain Michael Johnson, you're back on your feet and you're moving out as well. You're not far behind him, but you're still got like a third of the corridor left to go. The Opie and Jaxie, Britt, you are pulling Snoopy and his body as you're going, and this area is collapsing right behind you, like right at his feet, basically, Snoopy's. How are you guys wanting to proceed?
Keep pulling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
I'm
keep going.
continuing
Stay
to
ahead
pull
of the-
as hard as I can.
Okay. Same as before, strength plus athletics check. Anybody who's assisting add a 1d20.
I'll assist you, Brittany, because mine's absolute trash.
Okay. I can't remember. Can only one person assist?
I think
don't
as many
so.
people.
Yeah, the issue is like who's there to actually assist.
Yeah.
I'm going to lower the difficulty as well down to 1 since you have 3 people helping.
Okay, so you want me to roll and have these two assist?
Yes, because you'll actually have to succeed to be able to count our successes as assists.
Can I okay, can I buy an AP too?
Yeah,
Like an
of
extra
course.
die?
You
You
have
use
enough.
AP to get an extra D20.
I have what is that? Damn it, I only have one success.
That's all you need because I also got a success with the
Good.
assist.
Good.
So it brings you to 2.
Perfect.
Okay.
I got a 6 and a 13, so
Either
You
of
got
those
one.
is-
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you only roll one if you're assisting.
Oh well, hold on. I mean,
But we got there anyway because
Yeah.
Yeah,
He can buy
six.
back that AP that I was
Perfect.
I got a 7, so I
that I
didn't
was
get it.
eating.
Okay.
Okay.
You have successfully continued pulling him out. So this was kind of like, I don't know if this mechanic exists in the rules, so maybe it does. I've basically been counting successes against the difficulties of how you guys have been escaping until you reached a certain threshold. You guys have reached the threshold to be able to escape. I don't know what Reggie was doing. He's dead.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You know, he may have escaped like a long time ago. He might have just said, "This is not for me," and went and got tea.
That's a really optimistic point of view.
Let's hope.
He went out to get ET. You guys have reached enough successes to escape successfully. And so you guys drag Snoopy through the corridor with the bricks falling at his heels. Billy and John Michael Carson are at the door, like egging you guys on. Come on, come on. And just barely, you guys managed to get to the exit archway from under this underground area and out back into the coulee. As you can see, the ground above it kind of sloughing in with the damage from the underground area. And now you guys are outside under the night sky, an unconscious Snoopy next to you.
Mission success.
We still don't know what happened to the kid.
Ah,
The guy,
I got
kid,
Snoopy
whatever.
out
well,
of
did you see what happened to Snoopy?
there. Yeah, seemed like
Yeah.
the kid
Well,
got
he
his ass
had
bashed
vines
around.
growing out of him. The kid didn't have vines growing out of him. He was just like,
Maybe his soul got sucked
He
out,
was
and then the vines
crushed
were gone.
and pummeled.
yeah. By
So,
The vines were doing an awful lot of crushing and pummeling down there.
they
Yep.
were.
Are we
lot
gonna
of-
count? Are we gonna count the vines as people? Because
Sure.
that probably moved my count up pretty high.
It will. It'll totally increase your kill count. Go for it. You did some impressive shooting. I'll let you have it.
All right, I'll mark down 144. Thanks.
I'm not correcting anybody.
I'm not either at this point.
It's all good in the head, bro.
So you guys are just sort of laying in the grass after that difficult fight. Yeah, a lot of work, a lot just went on. Billy's upping his kill count by a lot.
This is
Um,
way funner than I thought it would be.
There's still some questions unanswered, but unfortunately you don't have any of those answers right now. But you're all alive and you're happy to be alive. And you just take a brief moment to look up at the night sky. It's a clear night tonight. And the rest of it you'll deal with the next day. And that's going to be the end of the adventure.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Yay.
So many
now.
open
Yeah, let's go to
things.
bed.
Thanks,
Well,
guys.
that's
I'm
what our
sorry that
characters
went
are
so
doing.
long. Oh man.
No, it was great. I just I have so many questions.
Now we got to do another one.
Maybe
I know exactly.
we'll talk about it later. Don't worry. We'll talk.
Yeah,
I'll find some
we'll
resolution
discuss
for you
it.
Oh, well,
We'll
anyway,
discuss it.
in the meantime, all right, folks, have a great night. This is all of us from the Fallout Roundtable. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate you. We love you all, and I hope you had fun listening to us. Everybody say goodnight, please.
Ooh,
Big
one thing.
thanks
One
for
thing.
our guests.
Guests. What would you like to plug before we sign off?
Where can we
Oh.
find you?
Oh, most definitely, yes.
Well,
I'd
I've
like to
written a
plug
speech.
Tempur-Pedic mattresses
Oh
with
my
high
God.
thread count sheets.
Atta boy. Atta boy.
Dave, I'll
Uh,
leave it to you.
Yeah, Radrolls. Listen to it. It's this, but there's more.
And far
it's-
better and more organized.
And better, yeah, more organized.
not necessarily, but we do it. It's on podcast services. It's on YouTube. We've got a bunch of it. There's a lot of it. We got a whole grocery store full of some of that stuff. So
Check it
go
out,
listen to that and get your Tempur-Pedic sheets.
Yeah. If you want
Jackson
some,
wants to play now.
and if you want different tabletop role playing game stuff, if this kind of whetted your appetite and you want to listen to some different stuff, well, I'm going to plug Radrolls, but also I've got Maximum Pew Pew. It's kind of been on hiatus because we've recorded live, and this pandemic has made that a little bit challenging to do that. But there is a nice long cache of episodes and stuff that you can check out, and we hit a bunch of different role-playing games, so you can see how those are played. And I'm pretty proud of that project, and if you're looking for something additional that is outside of the realm of Fallout, then it'd be cool if you check that out. And
Wait, add
again,
another podcast to my roster.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, and from what I
am gonna look at it.
understand, Jerod has quite the repertoire of RPGs, right?
If you're looking for a entry point, I would highly recommend the Alien RPG, or the Aliens RPG based off of the Ridley Scott universe. That is entitled Chariot of the Gods. It is a 8 episode, so pretty quick to get in, get out, and whet your appetite on that. And then if you're still feeling hungry, there's plenty more. But yeah, that's enough plug from me.
I just want to play with you guys. It was so much fun.
I know. Same.
Oh yeah.
Same.
Awesome.
Gingerino, thank you for running. Much
Yeah, I
appreciated.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great. That was
It
fun.
didn't
It was
suck.
a great first run.
It didn't
Yeah.
suck. That's what I was aiming for. Goal achieved.
Oh wow.
Set the bar low.
All GMs out there understand. Hey, I'm one of you now, suckers. All right, guys. Okay, we'll close it out now. Good night, everyone. Love you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.